Hi, it's me, the autistic Gen X software developer with anxiety and depression, but some call me Tim. And I have been wondering if part of the reason why people don't subscribe is because I say software developer. In the intro, hi, I'm a Gen X software developer. Do they tune out like, oh, this is going to be about software? And this has nothing to do about software. It's just describing kind of, why I'm unemployed. I was looking for a job in software. And so that seemed like a thing to say. And yet, I don't know. But we're going to drive on anyway. I'm thinking about getting all of the social media accounts, get an X and get a TikTok and all those things. And I went on Facebook. And it's just full of crap, and I still don't know if I want to add to the noise. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about today is because it's almost Halloween, and I wanted to go through. I have a list here of, I've lost my mouse. Yes, the 200 best horror movies of all time. Sure. So I wanted to go through this list and just see. I'm at the bottom at number 200. And I'm going to skip over movies I don't know because I'm just say the name of a random movie. Christine is the 200th. Look, I'm tired. Christine. Let's see. The Mist movies I've seen. The Howling. Not a lot of good stuff going on here. Trick or Treat. Number 188. Screw you. So Trick or Treat 2007 with the little pumpkin kid and the death sucker is one of my all-time favorites. Definitely don't pass that up. Creep. Oh my God. Creep 2, and the Creep tapes are probably one of the most realistic found footage series I've ever seen. It is so good. Let's see. We're screwing. The Lost Boys, 1987, number 180. I don't know if I'd even say that's horror. I mean, maybe it was horror back in the day. It's more like a comedy now. So let's see. Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Now, Scream, the original Scream. I love all the Scream movies. I was trying to explain this to my daughter who didn't really understand Scream and like, what's the big deal? It's like, well, the whole franchise is about making fun of slasher movies. And I don't know if people know that. And it just gets better and better. Scream, they have the movie. Okay. But then Scream 2, you're like, oh, it's going to suck. But no, because they make a movie called Stab in the Scream universe that is a movie about what happened in the first movie. And so now everybody's coming to the town. And so then it's like, okay, but now the rules for this have changed because this is a sequel. And then, part 3, it's like, well, this is the trilogy. And then they actually do a reboot and they all talk about like all the rules that go on with all these different next steps of the horror movies. It's fantastic. The Exorcist. Wow. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. Dr. Sleep. Well, these are good. Dr. Sleep is sort of a follow-on to The Shining, and it goes more in depth into the Shining part, which was a bigger part of the book than they made in the movie. I thought it was really good. Candyman, the original, that was pretty scary. Halloween. Okay, I don't know how to feel about the Halloween reboot of the reboot. You had the original one, and then they went crazy, like Season of the Witch, pretended like nothing happened, and then you had the remake with Rob Zombie. The original was great, but then part 2, they couldn't get the same kid. None of that made any sense, and then they're doing it again. There was Halloween 20, which was 20 years later with Jamie Lee Curtis, but then now there's 3 more Halloween movies that came out, and all those movies pretend like none of the other movies happened except the first one and want to be Halloween 2, 3, and 4, which is weird. Excuse me. And I watched all of them, and I'm not sure that any of them were good. All right, The Conjuring 2, not my favorite of the Conjuring franchise, but The Conjuring Last Rites is out, and I'm going to watch it, and I can't wait because it better be the original Conjuring, better be up in this damn list. Conjuring at 164. I don't know how I feel about that. There's a bunch of horror movies here I've never seen. Fright Night, the original from 1985. I watched the shit out of that movie. I don't know if I like the remake as much, but it does show its age. You know, it's kind of cheesy. It's 1985 after all. But if you keep that in mind, I think, yeah, Scream 2, higher than Scream 1. That's what I'm talking about. It's a gleeful takedown of scary movie conventions that manages to poke fun at terrible horror sequels without falling victim to the same fate. That's exactly it. Oh my God, Paranormal Activity. One of the first found footage movies I ever saw that terrified the out of me. Now, granted, that was in 2007, and horror movies have gotten a lot better. Case in point, number 150, Midsommar. Oof. The Shining, classic. The others, Candyman reboot, I did not like that at all. John Carpenter's The Thing, 142. Pretty much the holy grail of practical effects, and such a great premise where they're stuck in the snow and the ice and it's cold and it's dark and you don't know who to trust was fantastic. It, the 2017, I don't like any of the It versions. The book was so much better, I think. The Evil Dead. That whole thing is confusing because you have The Evil Dead and then you have Evil Dead 2, which is an Evil Dead remake, and then Army of Darkness, which is Evil Dead 3 or 2. Depends on, yeah. So there's actually a cut. I believe there's a way you're supposed to watch the first movie and Evil Dead and then Evil Dead 2. You like watch Evil Dead up to a point and then you flip over to Evil Dead 2 or you continue it. I actually should try that sometime. Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Very good. The Blair Witch Project, 131. I don't think that. The Conjuring, 129. 129. That's one of my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time. I'm beginning to think this list is crap. Poltergeist. The original. I don't know if they did a remake. That was good. There's a lot of stuff here that I'm just not a fan of. As I'm scrolling by, I'm like, oh my goodness, look at this. Evil Dead 2 at 114. Don't Breathe. Oh boy. Don't Breathe. That movie genuinely made me feel anxious and stressed. And I swear I forgot to breathe in some of the scenes. Fantastic movie. As we scroll up to The Dead Zone with Stephen King. I had never watched this movie, honestly. I didn't read the book either. For some reason, I got in my head that it was all about vampires, and I never read it. But I do remember the TV show was amazing. So maybe I should go back and revisit it. American Werewolf in London. For 1981, that was a pretty damn scary movie. Let Me In. Okay. No. There's a remake of Let Me In is a remake. That one's in 2010. I do not like that one. Ready or Not, 2019. That was surprisingly entertaining. Like, I didn't think I was going to like it. Oh, but it was really good. Okay. The Invitation, 2015. That movie was Hereditary. It's only at 89. That is one of the new kind of horror movies. The Lighthouse. I don't believe The Lighthouse is horror at all. I think it's just an existential black and white male movie. I don't know. That's not a horror movie. Misery, 1990. Just going to say this. Okay, The Endless. See, the problem with The Endless is you have to watch the previous movie, Revolution, which doesn't make any sense at all and is very weird. But if you watch that and then watch The Endless, oh my God. That blew my mind. It really did. The Witch, number 76, with Anya Taylor-Joy. I really enjoyed that. It's a slow burn, but I kind of like slow burns. And a bunch of movies. Revenge. Okay, that was probably one of the most goriest and hard to watch movies I've ever seen. I don't know horror more than just gross ass violence, but it was pretty good. Shaun of the Dead, 68. Classic. Cabin in the Woods, 66. Definitely, it's got a nice twist in there. If you don't know it's coming, if you went in dark, that would be very good. The Fly, 1986. Jeff Goldblum. David Cronenberg. Man, I remember The Fly. I actually remember The Fly more because when I watched The Fly, I couldn't really concentrate on the movie because the movie next to me, there was so many screams. I was like, what is happening over there? I'm in the scary movie. I don't understand. So, of course, when the movie ended, I went out and looked what was next door. It was Aliens. So, I saw that too. And then I understood why everybody was screaming. Here's Alien, the original, at 53. I don't know about that. Us, 2019, 52. Very good. Now, this is interesting. Weapons is 51. That's on my list, but I haven't watched it yet. So, Nightmare on Elm Street, 48. Reanimator, beating Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't know. Reanimator's just weird. I don't know. I mean, I know it's a cult classic and I know people love it. There we are. Aliens, 43. Hell yeah. Now we're getting into the top 40 here. And a lot of these movies I've not seen. There are a lot of old movies. Silence of the Lambs, 32. I don't know about horror. It's more of a suspense thriller to me. It Follows, number 31. That was a pretty cool premise. I thought it was great. Bunch of old ass 1960 movies I've never seen. A Quiet Place, number 23. Whew. It has a scene in it that's very hard to watch. Whew, with a nail and a foot. Oof. Rosemary's Baby, number 18. Yeah, and Halloween, number 17. I don't know, man. Halloween was so boring for the first half of it. It was just 35-year-olds playing teenagers and nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, shit went bad. Man, these are Psycho. I mean, Jaws. Okay. The Ring. I've actually not seen the Asian one. This is interesting. Sinners, 2025, number 12. That's also on my list. I should probably watch that. A bunch of things I've never seen. Hell yes. All right. Top 10. Let's go. Vampire, 1932. Obviously never seen that. Bride of Frankenstein, number 9. Nope. The Loved Ones, number 8. Never seen that. Host, never seen that either. Wow. Number 6, though. Let the Right One In. 2008. This is the Sweden. Yes. That is the best vampire movie I've ever seen. They could not make it today. Having a little scrawny boy in his underwear, people would have number 5 is The Babadook. Great movie. Number 4, Get Out. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Number 3 is The Wailing. I don't know that one. Wow. Number 2, Under the Shadow. And number 1, His House. I've not seen those. So, best horror movies of all time. And sadly, probably my top 10 favorite movies. None of them are on here except for Trick or Treat. I'm going to have to do a follow-up video of this one talking about horror movies that are actually good because we're pushing 15 minutes and I have therapy. So until next time, peace.